Okay, so here we go. Here's number 3. Now, number 3, okay, I got this set up a little better for myself this time. So I've got it already set up. A equals negative 2. Once again, we're just identifying the A, the B, and the C values. B is positive 8. It's a ugly looking 8. And C is negative 6. Okay, one thing we notice about this graph is that A value is negative. That A value is negative is going to tell me this graph is going to open down. That means unlike the last one, number 1, the vertex here is going to be a maximum. It's going to be up on the top of that curve, and the graph's going to open down. We know that just from seeing that this first value is negative. So I'm going to come over here and find the x-coordinate on my vertex. So we said, once again, it's negative b over 2 times a. So my b value is positive 8, and my a value is negative 2. So that's negative 8 over negative 4, which gets me a positive 2. Okay, so to plug in for my y value, negative 2 times 2 squared plus 8 times 2 minus 6. I plugged this 2 in for both spots that have an x. Now, once again, if you're using a nice scientific graphing calculator, type this all in right here, including the parentheses, and you should be all good. If you're going to use order of operations, it's first the exponents. I can do this multiplication as I'm moving left to right, or, technically I'll hold off on that. I'll do this in 2 steps. Now I can do my multiplication, so that's negative 8 plus 16 minus 6. Okay, and you can see when you combine these numbers, we're going to get a positive 2. So the vertex is 2, 2. Okay, so 2, 2. Here's my vertex. Okay, the axis of symmetry, or the line of reflection, the line of symmetry, once again, is that vertical line passing through the vertical line x equals 2. Going back to Hoy-Vux, x equals a number. That's a Vux v vertical line. We're going to actually be reviewing graphing lines probably the second week we're back from school. Okay, so now I need to find my other 4 points. So I'm going to, once again, I'm going to set up this little table where I'm going to write my first 2 odd numbers down. Always 1 and 3. Always 1 and 3. In the notes, I was writing 1, 3, and 5 just to show you how the pattern would continue. Okay, all you need to do, homework, quizzes, and whatnot, 1, 3. Okay, then I'm going to take my a value. We said that the a value is negative 2. So negative 2, negative 2. And I'm going to multiply these numbers together. And that will give me my vertical change, okay, from point to point. 1 times negative 2, negative 2. 3 times negative 2, negative 6. These numbers are negative, so that means we are moving down. The horizontal change is always 1 to the right. It doesn't matter what anything else is, horizontal change is 1 to the right. Okay, so now we're going to come to our vertex, and our first vertical change is going to be negative 2. So I'm going to go down to 1 to the right. Okay, so I've taken care of that. Now I'm going to go to negative 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 to the right. Always 1 to the right. Okay, now I want to use the idea of symmetry to reflect those points. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. A little note I'll point out in this problem, we couldn't point it out on number 1 because the C value was positive 18. We did say in the note the C value is a y-intercept. And if you can see when I draw this curve in, where does this curve cross the y-axis? At negative 6. Okay, that really applies more to when we start doing application word problems, well, where we normally would be doing that. That's probably one thing we're going to skip out this year that I'm sure some of you will be upset, some of you will not mind. But because we're moving much slower, because we're doing this online, we will probably not get to the applications and the word problems. But that's usually where this C value comes into play, is in word problems, okay? So I'm still going to point that out, but you're not going to really be asked to do anything with that y-intercept at all this year, okay? Have a good one.